Hello, welcome to my month 5 Achilles Rupture update. My Achilles Rupture was on December 10th, 2019. It is now May 12th, 2020, so just a little bit over 5 months from the rupture. Going non-operative, early functional rehab method of recovery. So I'm at a point right now where the last week I've unfortunately had quite a bit of a swelling, tenderness, and a bit of pain in the Achilles. And it's been kind of a downer because I was doing really well, enjoying life a lot. So I was kind of a little sad that I've hit this hiccup in the recovery where the tenderness and um, everything with the Achilles is a bit more than I would like. It's really impacted my ability to do any rehab this past about 5 days, 6 days. And I don't know what the cause was. Nothing happened that would cause it. Nothing that was an immediate, like, oop, I did something and I'm going to be tender, I'm going to be sore for a few days. Nothing like that. So I was thinking back, what happened over the past 2 weeks? And I started adding everything up, and I simply think I just overdid it. So let's start. So I did run twice over the last 2 weeks. I did a mile and a half each time. Uh, the first time I just took it nice and easy, stretched out a bunch, every half mile or something, 3 or 4 stops in the mile and a half. And then any steeper hills I walked up because I don't want to do that aggressive loaded dorsiflexion yet. The second time I ran, I didn't stop at all. A mile and a half, nice and easy, just around a 9-minute mile pace, which wasn't too much effort for me. My stride wasn't normal by any means. It was a shorter stride than I typically do. My feet didn't really. I'm not really much of a heel striker to begin with, but I kept my strides even shorter just to avoid limping at all. I didn't want to mess up my knees or my hips as a compensation for my lack of mobility with the Achilles. So I did a short stride and just kind of quick, it's like a quick shuffle almost run. But I did that for a mile and a half, no problem. So didn't really feel much soreness the next day after that. So I did those 2 runs. I did a couple other smaller runs, just chasing my kids around, in the neighborhood. So not like a sustained distance run or anything, but running. And then again, felt fine. I took the bicycle out with the trailer that I used to carry the kids in, and I trailed them around the neighborhoods to the local park, up and down hills. Really kind of having to carry weight on the bicycle. Again, no issue. Carrying the kids up and down stairs, down to our lakefront. There's a big, very long stair pathway that I had to carry the little one down to with our gear. Up and down, no problem. Was able to run up it, run down it, no issue whatsoever. Again, I mowed my lawn, which is kind of like if you can picture a sled push when you're exercising. You kind of lean forward and drive through your legs. That seems to be the one that kind of continually causes me some soreness. So I think I'm gonna have to be. I might double up on a heel insert to give me more lift, and maybe do my lawn in segments at a time, because that has consistently caused me to be sore. And I think it's just like it's like a sled push, kind of a manual lawnmower on a half acre. It just kind of adds up on the Achilles. Another thing I did was I carried like a pedal boat to my parents' pond. It's a pretty heavy thing that I have to drag across their lawn, and my parents are a bit up there in age, so I just do it for them. And again, I was able to do it, no problem. It was heavy, but I didn't feel any strain or anything. I just trucked along and did it. So when I add up all those things that I did in 2 weeks, I forgot to mention too, I went on a big hike with my family up some pretty good inclines and declines, with the kids, carrying them in certain spots and really uneven, like tree roots and vines and holes and stuff. And again, no problem. Like that, all those things individually didn't present any issue for me. So I was able to run, I was able to lift stuff, I was able to mow the lawn, I was able to hike, I was able to do all these really good things, and doing some rehab in between, the heel lifts, kind of doing some light jumping. But then after all that, work, there was one day where I did a number of things in the same day, and by the end of the day, I noticed that my ankle was swollen. It's the first time it's really been swollen in kind of a while. It's got a little bit of swelling here and there, but this was probably the most I've had in a while. So I just think my body said, "Hey, you're doing too much. You are doing too much with what your injury should allow. So you need to cut back, and I'm gonna make you cut back." So it swelled up, and then for 3 days, it was really tender. Like I actually walked with a limp again. I haven't limped in a long time, probably like 2 months at least. So I was limping for sure. I was limping. I was going downstairs sideways again because it was barking at me. And, I've been shuffling, shooting up and downstairs pretty effortlessly for quite a while too. So having to go downstairs sideways and limping again was like, wow, what happened? What a slap in the face back to reality a little bit. So really down about that. But I'm just trying to listen to the body. It's saying, hey, you did too much. So I'm trying to give it a break. And it's at this point, it's been 5 or 6 days. And I've been doing light range of motion, light heel raises with both feet, not singles, because I don't want to make it inflamed. I don't want to make any tendonitis worse. And it's starting to feel better, so I'm assuming it'll get back into shape soon. And then I just got to, try to manage my activity level to something more appropriate. I'm just not good at gauging it. I've got elderly parents, I've got young kids, I've got my wife's due in 1 week. So all the stuff that the family wants to do, Dad's got to step up and do it. So I just kind of do it, knowing that I can do it, but also kind of knowing that I might suffer some consequences down the road. But overall, it's been worth it for me. And when the weather's nice, get out, get after it, have a good time. If I had to go do any of those things right now, I could, just knowing that my Achilles would be tender, like a tendonitis. If anyone's worked through tendonitis playing any kind of sport before, you know that you can do it. It just doesn't feel great. So it impacts my ability to do the calf strengthening, the rehab, the heel lifts, that kind of stuff. So just trying to do more stuff just in moderation right now, and hopefully get back to it soon. So just wanted to do this video to show that the recovery is 100% not all positive moments. This has been the roughest week. I know the last video I said I took a week off because I had gotten sore, and again I think it was mowing the lawn was the culprit, but that was mild. This one was worse. The Achilles, like the injury site, it kind of balled up in swelliness. I had to really massage it down. It looked like there was a tennis ball behind my Achilles, and it was tender. So it wasn't like a re-rupture. Wasn't I could still do double calf raises, no problem. Everything was good except it was tender. It was aching. It was aching badly. So had to take that into account and dial it down. So hopefully another couple days of rest, I'll ramp back up and try to think about, should I be doing this? Should I be doing this? It's so hard because when you do things and they feel good, you're just like, hey, let's keep doing this. But the body is telling me too much, so I have to take a break and let that immediate acute kind of maybe it's tendonitis, maybe it's scar tissue, I'm not sure, let that kind of dial back a little bit and then progress from there. But yeah, overall, I think about the 2 weeks, running, pulling a little boat, like a pedal boat, 2-person pedal boat, 4-person pedal boat, actually 4-person pedal boat, so it's pretty big, pretty heavy. Trailing a kid on a bike, running up and down stairs. I did a lot. So 5 months after the injury, I'm super capable. I wouldn't play any sports or anything, of course, right now, but overall very capable. But also the drawback is then I limped for a couple of days because the injury is still very much there and still healing, and it let me know that, hey, dial it down. So just trying to listen. Not going to do any exercises because there's nothing to show you. I haven't improved anything since the last video. I think calf muscles still rebuilding. The dorsiflexion's still coming along. When I, the springtime, being outside more, I'm doing more natural movement stuff, so less focus on the real range of motions. I have the slant board that I built with my my daughter. We had a little project, so I did build a slant board, really trying to focus on doing the heel raise from dorsiflexion, so get a big range of motion. Then also probably even more importantly is when I'm on the decline and getting the heel up, because that's the end range that I'm really focused on getting back. And right now I can, if I'm down 20 degrees, I can't lift my heel on the injured foot. So at 10 degrees I can. So not much though. So I'm really trying to, once I get back to the rehab, those are going to be my focuses, as well as adding some weight and resistance. So trying to hopefully find a better balance going forward of playtime and fun with the kids, and doing natural stuff, for my family, mowing lawn and lifting stuff and carrying stuff that kind of falls on my shoulders, while also, um, you know, mitigating that with how much rehab can I do for effective return to overall health, long term, which is the ultimate goal. I don't think I ever stated this outright before, but maybe 5:10 in the morning. And as of a month before my injury, I was still able to jump and get about here on a basketball hoop. I could dunk a softball and maybe a volleyball on my best attempts. So the kind of telltale sign will be how close I am to doing that. 18 months from this injury or a year from this injury. So that is kind of my end mental goal of what can I achieve. When I'm finally out of the woods here. But month 5, very capable, but with some pullback from the tendon saying, hey, you can do this, but it's not the greatest idea, so dial it down. Still working on my knowing where that line is. It's kind of hard to tell, because when you do things and they feel great, you don't have anything telling you to stop. So hopefully in another 2 weeks, I'll have not done anything to cause any more inflammation, and the tendonitis, or whatever you want to call it, just tenderness of the tendon and the scar tissue, the swelling has gone down. I can get back to rehab and give you some more progress updates. Be well.